And action. Welcome to another incredible episode of the Action Podcast. Today, we have Mickey 17 on tap, the new film from the Parasite director starring Robert Pattinson. And lastly, we'll do The Last Breath starring Woody Harrelson, that's based off a true story.
Which
So
I haven't seen, and I'm so sad
I know.
that I can't contribute to that part of the review.
It's okay. It's okay. I have a good review, so
You're
people,
mad, I can tell.
yeah,
You're mad at me.
furious. But let's get into it. Pete, this was, I believe, your number five most anticipated movie of the year, and so maybe six. And so, yeah, I definitely want to hear your opinion first. Um, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, this movie certainly didn't disappoint. This is the most underrated, under-marketed movie I think has ever come out that has actually been of value. And to be honest, after you've watched it, your initial thoughts about what you've seen is like, oh my God, what a great story. But then when you start trying to like kind of pick it apart, you start to see why maybe it hasn't gotten any sort of marketing or publicity or buzz or anything because I mean it's literally talking about the industry right now and that there's something that is of value, and instead of nurturing that and turning it into something of significance, let's just throw it out there, let it die, and let's churn out something new within the same formula in which we're trying to sell, as
Yeah.
opposed to just being actual individual filmmakers and writers and content creators and just making something of significance. So it's okay. Let's start with the story itself. The story itself is so unique. Um, and Robert Pattinson, this is his best performance that I've ever seen. He may have had a better one that maybe I haven't seen, but this is my favorite of everything that he's ever done. Um, and I'm happy that he, like Daniel Radcliffe, for example, have been able to get away from sort of that stereotype in terms of acting being attached to like a series of big budgeted, massive movies. He's gone on as like Daniel Radcliffe. They've gone on to do amazing things since. Um, but this one is at the top of the pops. Like this one is so good. He does a dual performance that is unlike anything I've ever seen. His accents and his mannerisms are fantastic. Um,
He's
the
literally playing two
girl,
different characters. I mean, they're
yeah, exactly. This was everything that I've ever wanted to watch from an actor. The the girl that's in it, and I don't have her name, forgive me, in
Naomi
front of
Ackie. It's literally right behind me.
oh my God, like she's phenomenal. Like she gives you such a range of love and tenderness and care to I will become Mama Bear and I will rip off your face and I will do everything in my power in order to. And then let's be honest, what's his name? Um,
Yoon, Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo. Thank you. Mark Ruffalo is fantastic in this movie. Mark Ruffalo plays a very Trump sort of kind of character in the way that he talks, the way that he perceives what he needs to do in order to accomplish their ultimate goal. Stephen Yeun is super fun um, as well, and then the woman from like
Toni Collette.
yeah, Toni Collette from Hereditary is so good as like the two politicians who just want to become dictators. I mean, there's so much in this movie. This movie is so packed full of so much information and there's so much going on. But the way that this story has been told, um, the way that I mean, do I call him Bong? The way that
Bong Joon-ho.
Bong Joon-ho, do I have to say the whole thing?
Yeah.
The way that Bong Joon-ho like composes this story. He makes it appear very simple, and yet there's so much happening at any given moment. This is one of my favorite movies of the year.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I thought it was good as well. This has a 7.1 on IMDb.
Phenomenal.
Um, the only numbers, I mean, it's got a 72 Metascore, which is really good.
Yep.
The only negative, I didn't realize the budget was this high, but the budget is 118.
It was 118. I heard 117.
Yeah. But it's only grossed 47 right now. So unfortunately won't make this money. But to
But
your point,
isn't that the state of our theatrical films today, and why certain people would not want a movie like this coming out, which basically
yeah,
tells you why.
it's
It's
because
almost like
people,
this weird sort of thing. It's like
but you're just blaming the audience, or you're just blaming the corporations that are running the studios, which is a big part of the issue. But the problem is people aren't also taking these chances to go see these types of films
it
that
could be as simple as who's got the money to go out and spend $20 to $25 a piece to go and see a film if it's not marketed properly. They're going to go see Iron Man 5. They're
sure.
going to go see Captain America 12. They're going to go see Despicable Me 19, but they're not going to go see a movie like this that actually has significance and has value.
But you can if you do the
But
subscribership
it's not
model.
been who would know about it
Yeah. No,
if
I
it's
would
not
agree.
marketed
AMC doesn't.
properly.
Yeah, I don't. I agree. Like AMC doesn't really market their stuff that much because when I tell people I'm only paying 25 bucks a month, I get to see, and I think it's changing to like 4 movies a week. But that changes. So like, because I agree. I don't know if I would have seen this movie if I didn't have the AMC pass. You know what I mean? And
No,
so
it was only because somebody said you got to see Mickey 17. This is like one of
yeah,
the best things I've ever seen. And so that
yeah,
was the only reason. It took one person to say, "Go see this film." And I'm so happy I did. It's phenomenal.
yeah, for sure. And like you're saying, it is very unique. You really don't know kind of what you're watching at first. And I'm actually glad you kind of explained it because I haven't really like delved into. I knew obviously this was like a euphemism or metaphor for something, but I hadn't really delved into it. But what you're saying
Well,
makes
I'm projecting.
oh, I mean, but you're still you are still bringing
He's
up
the
a
kind of
point.
director that would do some shit like this, like where he would
Yeah,
put some real thought into, like, can I make a movie about the state of the filmmaking process today and the audience reception of that process and the marketing behind, like, he would be the person that would just throw it all together and he would make a movie like this because it encapsulates all of it.
yeah, and I think I, there's a part of me that wished the Ruffalo character was a little toned down more. I think he could have been even a stronger character.
Mm,
But
yeah, I don't know.
he was a little over the top. But
I think that's a sign of the times, though, right? Like that. I think that piece of it. I think Ruffalo did a fantastic job,
yeah, oh yeah,
but I
yeah,
think that he was supposed to do it that way because he has to make a point. Like the people that are in charge are ridiculous, right?
yeah,
Like and he had to encapsulate sort of that like that ridiculous nature. Um,
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. But I think and you even mentioned um like leadership, like even just on the Trump side. But I would even go. It's just as much the other side as well
Sure.
because
They're all crooked.
they're all crooked. Yeah, and it is partially about you know saying
It's
one
what is your main
saying
objective?
one.
His main objective in the
Yeah,
movie was to become the dictator of this new
yeah,
establishment that they're all going towards.
yeah.
So yeah,
And it's saying
whether
one
he was
thing.
Republican or Democrat, he's gonna try to accomplish the same
Yeah.
thing,
It's saying
right?
it's ultimately saying one thing and doing something else. And again, that's what politicians, regardless of right or left, are
Right.
absolutely known for is just not coming through on what you're promising. And so, but even again, that could be studio executives too. That can be again, it's really a leadership quality in general. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, again, I think some people don't want to watch films for deeper reasons. And at the end of the day, I do think this movie is entertaining and it's paced well and it moves along and it's interesting. It's interesting and creative. And for that, I think I recommend it to all audiences. I don't think like I said, if you just like movies and creativity, I think this movie, um, and
But
it's funny,
17,
funny too. Yeah,
it's funny, yeah, but 17, the one Robert Pattinson character, I mean, there's such an element of sweetness and innocence to this movie that just kind of brings you into this world.
yeah,
And it kind of holds you there as this chaos is going on about you because I mean, you don't want him to die because you've already related to him so brilliantly in the beginning of this film,
yeah,
um, that and I'm not going to spoil it, but they do something at the very beginning where you think that Mickey 17, what? Mickey 17? It's not even Mickey 17 anymore, right? And
yeah,
so, and then they just start the movie, and you have to get into this world pretty fast.
yeah,
Um, I just thought this movie was brilliantly done. It's one of my favorite things I've seen all year long, and I'm happy that I was able to see it.
yeah. It's definitely one of the best movies of the
So
year.
good.
Awesome. All right, next we have Last Breath, and I mentioned this I believe in the last podcast, but um, I actually got to see a sneak preview of this movie back in the summer, and so I was always gonna kind of curious on what it did. I enjoyed the initial preview screening that I saw, and so I was just curious on really where it went from there. And I think for me, watching it the second time around, first off, this has a 6.9 on IMDb. Um,
Not horrible.
no, that's solid. 65 Metascore, which is solid. Um, and then budget's 24, gross is at 15. So it's got a chance. Hopefully, it'll make its money with streaming and whatnot. But this is a good old fashioned, based off a true story. What I like about it too, it's short. There's not a
Right.
lot of excess to it, and there wasn't necessary because
I love that.
yeah, the story itself, isn't this expansive world or anything like that. It's a survival movie, and it's about teamwork, and
We're in point A, we got to get point B or we
yeah,
die.
yeah, and it's about problem solving. It's
Right.
about just things like that. And I've always enjoyed movies like that, and just seeing
Yeah, me too.
it just really seeing what the human experience is about. And it's an incredible true story, and it's a great story that should be told. And I'm glad.
But
Uh,
without spoiling anything, is it as intense as the premise seems?
oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Okay, so the storytelling plays out just the way it's supposed to. Because
Yeah, and I
when
think
I heard about the premise of this movie, I'm like, I'm already tense. It's
yeah.
like the abyss all over again. Like I'm already freaking out.
I mean, when you hear
Uh,
about this guy's job, you're just like, how is this a job? Like it's insane. And
how do you even apply for that job?
yeah, right. I mean, that's part of the allure, I think, of this movie is you're learning about this whole other thing that we most people don't have a clue about, and so that's a part of. I don't want to use the word entertainment because that might come across inappropriate, but just the you know interesting factor of this film is again you're also learning about this part of the
And
world.
Woody always does so well. Like
Yeah,
he's so good.
yeah, he's great. I mean, all the actors were great in this. Simu Liu, I think is how you pronounce his name. He's Shang-Chi
Hmm.
or Shanghai Chi. I'm getting all those messed up right now.
You're doing all right.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
But again, ultimately, I think this movie, like I said, it's really well done. It's a solid cast. It's short, gets to a point, but still adds all the tension that you need. What I really liked this version versus like what I originally saw is, and I believe they said it, but the music wasn't final then, and now this music is final. It really adds a lot to the film. So um, go see it. I really enjoyed this one. I think this movie is going to do very well also when it comes to streaming too. So
Oh yeah, so Simu Liu, who was you know him from the Marvel world.
I said Shang-Chi.
Okay, but on IMDb it's listed as Simu Liu.
That's what I said. I said that actually. That I pronounced it right then.
Yeah, you did good. No,
Yeah.
I'm just confirming that you did awesome.
Sometimes it's difficult if you don't look at it while you're saying it, and
Yeah, because then you start doubting like your own brain.
yeah.
I think it's I don't know. I don't know.
So yeah.
You
So
doubted yourself.
we're 2 for 2 this week, guys. Mickey 17, Last Breath. Go check both of those out. We do actually think, and they're honestly, for the most part, good for both almost all audiences. Um,
I mean, yeah, for the most part, like
Mickey 17 might be a little bit older, but
yeah, there. I mean, there's innuendo, there's ideas, but I mean, it would go over. I
yeah,
mean, listen,
it's.
I'm not taking my kids. I'm not taking my kids to see Mickey 17.
I don't think they would want to.
However,
Yeah, I don't think they would want to see it, but
if I've got a teenager and they love filmmaking, they would love this film.
I would say 10 and above, depending on their mental state.
Yeah.
All right. And then next week, two more big movies coming out. Number one movie coming out, there's a tie between the two movies, but the number one movie I think coming out is Black Box. That's the new movie from Steven Soderbergh, written by David Koepp, who they just teamed up in Presence.
Right.
And David Koepp is one of the most accomplished writers.
Isn't that Fassbender? Isn't that
Michael Fassbender's in it. Kate Blanchett.
Fassbender?
That's how you pronounce
Excuse me. Yeah.
it.
Sorry.
Trying to remember.
I said Fassbender.
By Pierce. No, I'm sorry, not Pierce Brosnan. Excuse me. And Pierce.
Oh, Pierce. Yeah.
But this
He's
is
always great.
this is a kind of a spy thriller. It's a very interesting film. So that's coming out this week, and then Novocaine, kind of starring Jack Quaid. That's kind of like an action, almost an action comedy in a way. But yeah, those two movies are coming out next, so we'll be reviewing those next week. Please
Can't
make
wait
sure
to see
you
those.
please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And with that, Pete, that is a cut. Thanks, guys.